mode.
Hey there, everyone. It's Yvette here. Thanks so much for joining us for today's webinar on your assessment. So I'm just going to actually tell someone who's got their mic on in the background to turn it off so we don't have that feedback. 1 second. Okay, it's been done. All good. I could hear a bit of feedback there. So, yeah, really glad you could get on because I know this whole assessment thing can seem probably quite overwhelming. If you're like me, you're probably a time poor business person wondering how on earth you're going to get this big document completed. So, it's my goal today to get you into a headspace where you feel like this is achievable, it's not so bad, and to give you the chance to really ask any questions about the program or completing the assessment that I might be able to show you. So you'll see I've got Google up on screen ready to go because we may surf anywhere depending on what it is you ask me. We've already done one of these sessions, and what I found really interesting about the last one was it was actually a really content rich session and it went for the full hour. By the time people asked me stuff, I would give them the answer, teach them a little bit, some of which we hadn't already covered on the program. So I think a lot of the others listening were aware of that, which was useful. So my first thoughts on the assessment is though, just get it open first, download it, and then you'll notice that there's a lot of tick and flick, and there's a lot of areas where you can simply write in a couple of lines. The first point I want to make that's really important to all of you is that if it's not relevant to your business, you're allowed to put not applicable or just and explain why it's not applicable to you. That will be a more than satisfactory answer. So maybe some of the questions you've had around that stuff, that first comment will be helpful. All right, apart from that, I'm just going to open up the chat line. So I'd like you to either raise your hand or drop me a question or a text chat to ask me something that's been bugging you. What is it that's preventing you from completing this assessment at this point in time? Okay, Wanda's got her hand up. Let's unmute her. G'day, Wanda.
Hi, Yvette. Listen, I've just been on the analytics side of things, and the question that they ask is links from the internet search engine. What's that actually mean? I'm still
Sure.
trying to work out what that means.
Let me pop this up. I'll pull up analytics and we'll go show you a visual. It might be helpful.
Mhm.
I'm going to sign in. Taking a little bit. Okay, and we'll just go into any old site. We'll go into Get Up to Speed. There we are. So your question was links from a search engine. Is that correct?
Yeah, in one of the questions in the assessment, it says links from internet search engine. So where do I find that?
Okay, what page is that on? I just want to pull that up to cross-reference it as well.
Um,
And
it's on, sec of it. It's on page 25.
of the website plan or digital marketing?
Digital marketing.
Okay, that'll be in here.
It's the Google Analytic benchmark, and it just says it's the second last question, and it says links from an internet search engine.
Okay, sure. Bear with me. I'm going to try and find this. And I mean, I know I should know this document inside out, and not so many weeks ago
Oh,
I did, but there's been a few things happen in between, as I'm sure you'll all agree.
oh. I've been away, so I've only just started getting my head back into this again. It's just getting into the right space.
It is, and I appreciate that you're looking at it. Um, I'm pretty sure that is it. Yes, it is. And you were saying page what, sorry?
Page 25.
Okay, moving on down. Page 25, that's got commentary of your
Mhm.
status of your website.
Um, it's Google Analytic benchmark. It's before the SWOT analysis of it. It's
Okay, here
just
we go.
before the SWOT.
Right here. Okay, so it's the links from an internet search engine. Gotcha.
Mm.
So to find that out, we go to traffic sources, sources. and all traffic. Okay. So did you see
Yeah.
that menu bar? Traffic sources,
Yeah, I did.
all traffic.
Yeah.
Now here we go.
Yeah.
If it's direct, that's not from a search
Yeah.
engine. That's people typing your
Hmm.
URL or web address straight into the browser. If it's Google
Right.
Organic,
Yeah.
that means that many
Hmm.
people and those sorts of percentages have come from Google. Okay.
Right. Yep.
This
Okay.
many from
Yep.
Facebook. Bing,
Hmm.
being the MSN, is another one. So your
Yeah.
stats will look different to mine, but you should get an
Right.
idea of
Yeah.
which search engines are
Yeah.
producing you traffic from that.
I thought it was that, and I thought it's got to be Google, but then I couldn't find it on the analytic board. I went all around the place, which was good to do anyway.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, that sorts me. Thank you.
you're very welcome. I'll mute you again. Okay. I haven't got anything in the questions panel. I'm just going to check the chat. Okay, you're all a quiet bunch. You must be on here for a reason. So I'm just going to pick you off the list. And let's try Penny. Penny, what is it that's preventing you, or you're a bit stuck on completing the assessment at the moment? Have we got a mic for you, Penny? If not, please can you just text chat me your questions for today, and I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. Doesn't seem like you have a mic, so I'll mute you again and wait for your question on the text chat area. Okay, how about you, Monica? Are you there, Monica?
Hello, yes, I'm sorry, I'm having lunch while multitasking.
Okay, so you're not really ready to ask a question. I'll come back to you later.
Come back to me later, thank you.
Okay, no problem. Penny says it's page 22 that's causing problems. Let's see, page 22, this one here. Is that correct, Penny? Okay, I need a bit more information. What part's causing you problems? I've just got to... Okay, there we go. Page backlinks are in eLesson 5 and 6. Okay, let me show you this. And actually, this is a question that poor old Darlene asked in the Facebook area, and I haven't been able to get back to her on. Remember we told you this little tool, Link Diagnosis? Now, page backlinks are, of course, websites out there that link back to your website, okay? Okay. Cancel report. I don't want that. It's pulling up a site I was just on. Okay, so if we go in here and we type in whatever our site is, so let's say it's Get Up to Speed, and then I can do a start. It's a free tool, which is cool. So there it is. It's tallying up the total backlinks there. Pretty cool little tool, this one, for free. We love free. We're 95% there. Okay, so there we go. Now we can scroll down, and here's our backlinks overview. So this is recognizing that there are 3 sites linking back to Get Up to Speed. Zesty, which is Renee, one of our wonderful mentors. business.sunshinecoast.qld.gov.au, which is, of course, the Sunshine Coast Council. And also the Creative Collective, which is, of course, us. I'm just going to turn off that Skype. We don't want those noises in the background. So if I refer back to here, I could enter my domain here, and the number of backlinks would be 3. Now, what I'm asking you to do here is a competitor analysis. So you would go through and you can run that same report on competitors. So how good's that? Once you look at the spreadsheet, you'll then be able to see where they're strong and where they're weak, and where you can get stronger to be more competitive online. So that's the whole point of the exercise. Okay, I hope that helps, and I'm pretty sure some others in the Facebook group have had that query as well, so hopefully that clears that up for a bunch of people. Okay, moving up the list. Lynn, I've got you next. Are you there, Lynn? Hi, Lynn. Lynn, your mic's not coming through yet. I can hear background noise though. You with us, Lynn? Perhaps not. So Lynn is, of course, the assessor, and if you've got any queries directly related to that, she can answer them. I would like to give you another chance soon. If you could, Lynn, join us and give your thoughts on the assessment as well. That'd be great. Right, Lucille, are we ready to go, Lucille? Do you have a question I can help you with today?
No, listen only mode. Listen only.
I can hear you. You're not quite ready for a question? Just only listening. Okay. So you're pretty on track, Lucille, to submit your assessment, you think, for the timeframes we're working with, so in a couple of weeks' time? Actually, I think it's even a week. It's the 15th of August, so hopefully. Lucille must be shy. She's typing, preferring to speak with us today. Not really, but trying. Not hard, but time-consuming. Excellent support. Great. Well, yeah, that's what this webinar is all about. I'm actually doing a webinar every single lunchtime and every single night this week. It's pretty hard going, but I'm more than happy to do it for you guys because we really want you to get over the line and get that assessment. You know, if you've gone to the trouble of completing this 10 weeks worth of knowledge, we want you to go the whole way and get that beautiful certificate. We need people to actually complete the assessment as part of the program so we can tick some government boxes. So we need all of your help to do your own, and then momentum and support around all the other participants as well to get as many assessments submitted as humanly possible. Okay, next up, Lizzie Marshall. You've joined us today. What can we help you with? Lizzie, have you got a mic?
Can you hear me?
I can now.
Oh, yeah, I'm way behind Yvette, and I'm just trying to get some hints. The information you gave me for page 22 is great about the link diagnosis, and the fact that I could put not applicable into boxes if I didn't think it was suitable for, or the question wasn't pertinent to my business.
Gotcha.
I'm hoping to get it finished by the 15th, but I've got a long way to go still. And so I'm going to just try and pick up any tips I can from this tutorial. Thank you for running them. It's really kind. Thanks.
Oh, no problem at all. Well, I'm glad you're at that point. And if I could just add as well, it's easy, I know, when you've had all these e-lessons sent to you to want to go through everything with a fine-tooth comb and apply absolutely everything you learn. Now, in those e-lessons, we provided a range of exercises that we thought would enhance your learning. And for some people, they're super easy to do and highly relevant. For others, they're really difficult and not so relevant to their business because we're all very different businesses. But what I really want to make sure is very clear with you guys is that the priority should be the exercises where I ask you to go over to the website plan or over to the digital marketing plan and complete those. The others are still sitting in your inbox. You can do them any old time, but don't get caught up, as I know some people are, way back on lesson 2 or 5 because they're trying to do every single exercise. My suggestion would be to just scan through them, look at the ones that say go over to digital strategy plan, fill out pages 4 to 5, etc., and just read those elements. Knowledge is not lost. You can come back to the stuff and keep going post setting up the assessment. So I hope that's helpful maybe to you as well, Lizzie.
Well, that's what happened to me is I tried to go through it, you know, absolutely everything, and I just got bogged down and lost. I got particularly stuck with the Google Analytics. I'm still finding it very difficult to get my head around, and I've watched the various video recordings of it, but again, it's just something which I'm not familiar with, and I'm not hugely computer literate, so it's all a very steep learning curve, but I haven't given up.
Yeah, of course. So on the Google Analytics, have you successfully installed it? It is up and operational on your...
Oh, it is up and running. Yes, it's up. Actually, our website developer did that for me. So it is up and running. But it's just a question of finding everything and understanding what it's all about.
Sure. Look, if it helps you, Google Analytics is a very extensive program, and that's why we love it, because you can show it to a beginner and they can just pick out the top level bits. So you remember probably way back we showed you this little dashboard. These are some really important stats that are generally applicable to everyone. But as you would discover, as you and Wanda said, you can log in and then there's another drop down and another drop down, and it goes deep as you want. So throughout the program, we haven't showed you every nook and cranny in Google Analytics, but we have showed you relevant nooks and crannies related to topics that we've taught you stuff about, like SEO, social media, the stuff we feel is really basic fundamental knowledge that every business owner should have. So, I guess the priority is trying to take those lessons, and good to hear you've been diligent and translate them into the plan. If you're still having trouble finding a specific one, feel free to pop it up, say on the private Facebook group, or to arrange a mentor session where you sit down with one of the mentors who can help you find it, just to complete that assessment and get it in. And that is a generally good statement too. If any of you would feel like it would help you get over the line to sit down with a mentor for that 1 hour session and with your assessment in hand and go, I don't know what this means, help me. Some of the mentors would be very good at helping you go through those and get those through. So, you don't need to know every single bit. It helps you know, I don't know every single bit of Google Analytics. And they keep you on your toes too. They keep on updating it too. You'll jump in one day and there'll be all these new drop downs and new parts. I actually had to completely rewrite the e-lesson in some of the Google parts. I'd written content before to teach people Google Analytics, and now where it used to be, it's not there and it's called something different. So yeah, it took my head a bit of getting my head around to communicate that to you guys too. But good one, Lizzie. Don't stress too much. Don't sweat the small stuff. Just get in there, get the stuff you need, get out, and go back in when you've got some time on your hands. Okay, Kira Lee already said a bit back that I've pretty much answered some of your questions, but are you on track, Kira Lee, to submit your assessment?
Should be. Hope to be.
Hope to be. Good one. Okay. Nothing else you want to grab me for while you've got me?
So many details, aren't they? Unless they're right up in front of me. That backlinks. What was the difference between the page backlinks and the domain backlinks? Have you just gone through that?
Let me see here. So domain backlinks and page backlinks. That is a little bit confusing. Let's see if we've got that here. Backlinks, index pages, anchors. I think it would have been in here.
Presumably the domain's just the main URL.
Yeah, I think so.
And then the pages are the levels down.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I was on about, Caroline. Thanks for that clarification.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to go back and check my notes on that front, and I think Karen, our SEO girl, actually had some input on that front, which I'd probably like to double check with her. But that sounds like the most obvious thing it would have been, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Anything else, Caroline?
No, it's just a matter of time, as the other ladies have said, just sort of trying to plot away, getting little bits and pieces done during the day and at night.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully we'll come up with a strategy by the end of it all next week.
Very good. All right, well, I look forward to seeing yours. It'll be good to see.
Thank you, yes. Thanks for that.
Okay, cheers. I'll mute you again. Lucille's just said, I've signed up someone from our office to complete the course in intake too. Thank you so much for the referral, Lucille. We love referrals. And there's no better people to sell this program than you guys. You now know what it is, what you get for it. As you now know, it's extremely good value for money. And there's a lot of support and ancillary stuff that's not even mentioned in the list of what you get, like these tutorials, for instance, that we just put on when we see a need. So that's fantastic. We look forward to welcoming them. I think it's Catherine McAdam said, no questions, just listening in case I missed something. A bit behind as my boy's been sick the entire time. Sorry to hear that, Kath. I hope you can get up to speed with it all. Excuse the pun. Lucille said, does anyone in the group want to work together and work on project on Saturday? That's a nice idea. So, Lucille, you're based on the Sunshine Coast. Potentially, you guys could all get together at a cafe or something, I presume. On a Saturday might work for some people. What I suggest you do is pop that on the private Facebook group and suggest a time and venue, and I reckon you'll get some takers for that. And look, even if you're not all together in the same area, no reason why you couldn't all get on Skype and be chatting to the other members in Cairns and Townsville and wherever they are, and all supporting one another, because you all take different things, don't you? You hear the same information, but what you absorb in different ways. I love the fact that when I sometimes go to a meeting and take my partner, we'll walk out and I'll be like, he said this, and my partner will say, no, he didn't, he said that. And we kind of try and read between the lines, and it probably is somewhere in between. Joe said, Elise, where would you meet? So I think those finer details of a potential meetup, perhaps you could nut out on the private Facebook group. I know that the Townsville group have been really active. They've been meeting quite regularly and getting a lot out of that. And, they're great business relationships that can continue well after the program. You now all are like-minded. You have that background knowledge. And you can I really hope it's the drop in the water effect where you can start inspiring other people in your community as well and bringing them into the fold. That would be awesome if that could happen. Okay, next up we've got Irina. Irina, how's your mic setup going? Are we good to have a chat?
Yes, we can have a chat. Can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, you've really caught me on the hop there.
I'm putting everyone on the spot today.
I thought that I was slipping in anonymously to be the fly on the wall, and there you've gone and picked on me. So that's
on you guys. The problem is, I think we've got a lot of flies on the wall today, so not as much content coming out as the last one. Was there anything, I guess, specific that you feel what's your main barrier to completing the assessment? What's your main challenge?
My main challenge would be that I haven't done the course. So I've got them all backed up there because I ended up going away and I've been on the road a lot just recently. And so I've got them all backed up to go through and just trying to madly pedal, trying to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm in overwhelm.
Sure.
So on the couple of times that I have been on the webinars, I've just found them too technical, like even the Google Analytics thing that you've been talking about today. It's just beyond me. I can't get my head around it.
Okay.
So what I was after was just a really simple strategy. Like I would prefer to come up with a strategy and know how I'm just going to go about doing my from a strategic perspective, like I would do that, and then I'm going to outsource it. So I've got people who work with me for web development. As long as I know what needs to be done, I'll probably get them to do the technical aspect.
Well, that's exactly right. So I guess some of those points that you've seen in the e-lesson that are actions you think, yes, I see why you would do that. That's a good idea. I'd like to do that for my business. Transfer it into an action plan. And I believe there is one at the back of these documents here from memory. There it is there. So you could pop it into this format and then, like you say, print that off, give it to your web developers or various team members and just manage it, oversee it, make sure it happens. So the thing is, you don't need to get down in all the technical detail, if this makes you feel, fair enough. And if this makes you feel better, my dad happens to have been a computer teacher, right? So everyone thinks, well, you must know all this stuff because you've had a dad and you've been immersed in it. Actually, I haven't. I've always known how to play games on computers, and that's it. I was never interested in them. I was more a sports type. I liked to be outdoors, and I didn't like to be inside and on computers. Never in a million years did I think I would end up doing this, and I never did any computers at school, okay? And then my dad, now that I do what I do, he was asking me questions not so long ago, a couple of months, of what website system do you use, and does it use SQL databases, and does it do this code, and does it do jQueries? Totally foreign language to me. I said, Dad, I don't know. You know what? I don't know. He goes, you run a business like that and you don't know. And I said, I don't need to know. I just need to know what I want and where I want it to go. And then I get technicians who are specialists in their field to do that stuff for me. And you know what? That strategy has paid off very, very well for me. So I'm sure it can for you too.
Thank you. Yep.
Okay. And then the other thing is, for the purposes of this, you do need to submit an assessment. So my suggestion to help you catch up quick would be to arrange a mentor chat. Sit down for 1 hour, bash out as much of it as you can, like fill it in with their assistance. And
I've been waiting. I've actually been waiting for that because I sent a request through a while ago, and then I was told that someone would contact me,
Right.
and that the mentor that I'd requested was good with it, but I haven't followed it up because I don't want to look like I'm hounding them, but I haven't heard anything further, and I've been probably waiting about a couple of weeks now.
Okay, I think you've probably encountered the zone where we've been madly facilitating intake 2 into the fold.
Yes.
And as you can
Yes.
imagine, there's been a massive flurry of people wanting a mentor straight off. So we're doing the careful balance of making sure intake 1 are getting the assistance they need to get assessments done, and that intake 2 are getting the nice welcome, feeling warm, like we're looking after them too. So Elise has got quite a task on her hands with 350 odd of you.
Exactly. That's why I didn't want to keep. That's why I didn't pursue it further, because I know what you've got going at the moment.
Yeah, but you know what? Elise is online now listening, so I'm sure she'll be writing down your name and arranging a follow-up ASAP. To be perfectly honest, particularly, where are you based, Irina? Are you on the Sunshine Coast by any chance?
I'm in Brisbane, so I requested someone who was close-ish, like in Loganholme,
Okay,
so
sure.
that
We have actually just gone out to some of our key partners, government, council, etc. contacts, and Kiralee, you might be able to help me out with this one too, who's online, asking for some more mentors, just to deal with the level of interest at the current time, because it is quite a high demand. But I would like to think that you would be a higher priority than some, because we'd rather get that support now, get the assessment done, and another successful person facilitated. But that advice I gave a bit earlier about skipping through the lessons and just picking out the bits for the assessment really highly applies to you if that's your situation, that you have been away and now you're just trying to do a massive catch up.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All the best. Okay, we're up to Helen Bentley. Helen, shall we have a little chat?
Yes, can you hear me?
I sure can.
Oh, good. Okay. I'm mainly doing the website plan, and I've just started a new business, so it's been a huge learning curve for me to learn the business and then to get my web presence up and going. As I've had limited finances, I've been trying to struggle with myself, and I started with an MYOB template, and I'm not happy with the look of that. It's very restrictive.
Yeah.
But at least I guess it's given me some web presence, and then when I can put all of what I'm learning here into practice, to be able to maybe, I was thinking of maybe looking at WordPress or something like that.
Yep.
To go with. And then I thought, well, I'd have a listen today for some practice for tonight, just to make sure I knew what to do. Okay. And immerse myself in it. But when we actually put in our assessment, I haven't looked at the last webinar yet. I'm just catching up on the last few of those.
So just to clarify, Helen, if you want intake 2?
No, intake 1.
Okay, right.
Yeah, so I was just wondering how we actually did submit our assessment.
Sure, happy to take you through that right now. So what you do is you go to the Get Up to Speed program website. Here it is here.
Yep.
You click on the green login, which of course takes you to the online resources portal area. Now I've got my computer to remember my username and password, so you will need to know what they are. You would have chosen those when you registered for the program. I log in.
Yes.
And you've got this big blue button here, submit your assessment here. So you click on that.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And then all your information about it is right there, okay? So actually, it's only because I'm a bit zoomed out. Let me plus this and it will render correctly, I think. Yes. Here we go. That's at normal size. So literally you'll go in, you'll say, here's my name, here's my email, and browse, and you'll attach your assessment on there. So, if you've completed it by hand, you'd scan that and email it to yourself. Or if you've completed it digitally, you could, of course, just upload it ready to go. Is that okay?
Oh, okay. All right then. Yep, that's fine. I guess I would have worked that out slowly.
Well, we're happy
But
to provide that
yeah,
clarification. Look, on your, just want to make a comment on your issue of starting off with a MyOb template and now realizing its limitations. That's a pretty normal journey. And the exciting thing for me is that you, having done the program, now realize those limitations. There are armies of people out there. The last stat I heard was something like 40% of business owners in Australia, can you believe, still don't even have a website. So if you've got one of those, you're doing well. If you've got a website that isn't so great, a lot of people have got those, but they don't realize they're not great. They don't realize the impact they're having on their business. A lot of them have them and they think, oh, I have to do it on a budget. I can't afford it, for instance. But they don't realize the amount of business they're actually losing every single day because their website's not performing and it's not competitive and it's not ranking and all those sorts of things. So, a WordPress site is always going to be better over, your customized things out there. They're a good starting point, and I really like your approach that better to have a online presence than nothing, which it totally is. Because I've also seen businesses over the years that they take so long to get their site live because they want every little thing perfect. And in the meantime, their competitors are gaining momentum, building links, getting a history on Google, and they're becoming harder and harder to compete against them. So you're best to get it live, get a history, get ranking in Google in some shape or form. And then when you put the new site up, away you go. But I think, now you know the possibilities. You do want to do more stuff to your site. And sites like WordPress, Business Catalyst, a lot of those ones we introduce you guys to throughout the program, they will grow with you as your business grows. And they're the best ones because the fact is business is ever evolving and you want to be in a position that your website can evolve with it.
yeah, the program's been very, very good for me because I've actually realised that my competitors, through the analysis of that, they're not really doing the most wonderful job either. So I feel that there are limitations in their presence on the web and to how they actually can gain customers through that. So I realise that I've got to do have my website really work for me to be able to give me an edge because I'm new and unknown in that area.
Oh, absolutely. I
just
love
on
it. Sorry, you go. There's a bit of a delay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm changing over from like the MYOB to the to my once I get my WordPress done. How do you go about doing that? And is there issues that I need to look out for with that?
Good point that you've raised there. Oh gosh, loving the fact that you've obviously taken all this in very well. There are some issues. So I'm not familiar with I'm familiar with the MyOb solution in that I know they partnered with Google and were charged with getting a bunch of Australian businesses online. That was what they're trying to do. And they're trying to give it to them, for free and make it happen on a big scale, which is great. Good for the industry, good for the economy, all that stuff. I'm not familiar, however, with what's called their file structure. So when you take your domain, I don't know, does it have slash and some numbers or slash and a name or a couple of slashes? Because what I mean by that is, let's say you've got an About Us page on your MyOb site, and let's say that About Us page has your web address and then goes /5210/About Us. If you then go and create a new one on...
yes, it does.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Because that's not ideal. That will impact on your search engine rankings. So when you change to WordPress, you'll probably end up with a clean one, a clean URL we call it, where you have your web address /About Us, for instance. And therefore, if the About Us on the old site has indexed on Google, we want to tell Google that, hey, I've now got a new About Us page, so redirect any traffic and momentum I've gained over there to this new page. And basically they won't land on a page that doesn't work. And that's bad for Google rankings and it's bad for the user as well. How you find out whether that's happening or not is through the tool we introduced you to back in eLesson 2, which is called Webmaster Tools. It's a Google product. It will tell you whether there's any broken links and what you need to fix up. But there's also, and this is getting a little technical, things called 301 redirects. So you can get, and this may be beyond But you can get a web developer to say within the WordPress system, if they search for this site, send them to this page. So you basically pair those pages up again, and then it redirects automatically. So we had to do that when we moved a couple of years ago off what we call a legacy system, an old CMS system, and onto Business Catalyst. We had to set up a bunch of redirects so we didn't lose any of our momentum on the search engines.
Oh, well, that's good. And I actually just looked at that this morning. I've dedicated a couple of days to catch up and get my head around it and be able to, really continuously work on it. So I'm really learning it well instead of being stop-start all the time.
Yeah, sure.
So I did watch that again this morning. It's great being able to go back over the recorded webinars.
Yeah. And to fast forward me when you go, yep, she's going on a bit, fast forward that bit, get to the good bit. Feel free.
Yeah. No, that's wonderful. All right. Well, I'll spend some more time on this, and I'll be back on tonight.
Okay, good one. We'll see you later, Helen. Thanks for getting on today. Okay, I've got Denny Castle. She's been asking me some questions by chat. I'm just going to see if we can have a chat by a microphone. Denny, are you there?
Yes, Yvette, I am.
Hi there, Denny. So I've got your text chat questions. So you're saying, tried to use the website grader to compare my competitors' websites. The grader gives me a great profile but does not give me comparisons. I'm going to do this live so you can see what I see, and let's go from there. So websitegrader.com.
Yeah, what I was saying, when I did it, I put in two competitors alongside, because I put my website in, then it asked for two competitors, which I put in, and it gave me my results, but theirs just kept spiraling. It just did, and I even changed to a couple of other competitors, and it just kept spiraling. It did not pull forward their addresses.
Let's see if I can get it to work at my end, Denny. What's your web address?
www.dennycastle.com.
Okay. And what's the competitors you'd like to analyse today?
Offerman, OFFERMANN, .com.au.
And second?
Dowling, DOWLING.
Yeah.
Neylan, NEYLAN.
NEYLAN, yeah.
LAN.com.au, yeah.
Okay, great. So let's see, generate report. I have a suspicion that could be your internet connection, possibly. Okay, hang on. Offerman saying that's not correct, so that could be part of the problem.
MANN it is.
Okay, MANN. Okay, that'll be why then. Let's give that a go. Let's see. So yeah, it could be your internet connection if these keep spiraling at my end where I have a nice solid connection.
Yeah, it just kept spiraling. It just, see, it came through like that connect, but it just didn't come correct. It just didn't come up.
Okay, let's see if
mine got 16 out of 100, which is really wonderful. Not.
At least you know where you're starting.
Oh, I know. Yeah, right from the start, which is great. That's been fantastic to look at that. And I did a screen grab so I could show you that it just was not correcting.
Look, it's still spiraling for me. Let's give it a minute. I'm going to let that tick away in the background and let's see if they won't come up. That is unusual. I've never seen this happen before. And my first reaction is I wonder if it's the internet connection, but if it's doing it here, I know we have a good solid connection. Perhaps there is an issue.
Yeah, and I tried it with a couple of others, so it might be mine.
We'll leave that going for a minute in the background, and I'll just answer another couple of questions, and we'll come back to that hopefully when it comes to the fore. No problem. Okay. Penny Riddick says, what is the difference between WordPress.com and WordPress.org? I realise I can't use my WordPress.org with Hootsuite unless you know of a way. Okay, WordPress.com and WordPress.org. We did cover this in week 3 where we talked about websites stuff. Now, WordPress.com is WordPress, but it means you have to host your site with their chosen host, which is a company called Automatic. So that's that option. WordPress.org is a free solution, and it means you can go out and choose whatever hosting provider you like and go from there. So most people go for WordPress.org because they don't want to be tied into WordPress.com. Then when you say, I realize I can't use my WordPress.org with Hootsuite, I'm not quite sure what you're saying. Hootsuite is for your social media networks, not for your WordPress. So no, you wouldn't be able to use WordPress with it in any which way that I know of. So it's more for your Google Plus, your LinkedIn, your Twitter, your Facebook, all that stuff. You pop the message in, you hit which networks you want it to go out to, you schedule the dates, and out it goes. So I hope that clears up some stuff for you, Penny. Lucille's asked, I have a question about Google Analytics. I watched the webinar, did most of the e-lesson, changed my website, but I didn't not write down week 2 benchmark. How can I get around this lack of information, i.e. not having a benchmark in week 2? That's pretty easy. You can actually go to Google Analytics and you can go back to that date of around the time that would have been. So let's say, what were we back then? I think we must have been at about April or May. I can't remember. You'd have to cross-check when that week 2 was. But let's say it was Tuesday the 10th of April, and you do the month before. So simply select through. Hang on. And then I'll change that to April 1, let's say. Hit apply. It's loading up those stats from way back then. That'll be a benchmark. That'll be where you were at that point in time. Is that helpful? And page 38, Lucille queries, if there are no products to sell, just leave pages 38 and 39 blank. Absolutely. Just say not applicable, and hopefully in that part we explain who you are and what you do, target market. Be very clear to Lynn the assessor that that's simply not relevant to you. Okay, let's go back and see how this is going for Denny. I see your problem, Denny. It's just not happening. Now, I'm going to open this up just to show you. It does work with other sites. And if it doesn't, then I would say perhaps HubSpot's doing some work on its system. Let's try, what site can we analyze? This is a company I've been working with lately. Let's run their report. Still going. Yeah, it shouldn't take that long. Let's see if we can get a different result on another random couple of sites. Okay, in the meantime, I'll keep asking some questions. Catherine, I haven't unmuted you yet. Are you there, Catherine? Catherine, do we have you with us?
Oh, sorry, is that me?
Yes, it is. Just seeing if we can help you with anything as you do your assessments.
Thanks, Yvette. That was me messaging you before. I'm just catching up because my son's been cooked for quite a while.
Okay.
So I'm all good.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
I'll leave you be. Look, I see your problem, guys. This was working last I looked at it, but it looks like it's not at the moment. So what I suggest we all do is contact these guys and tell them it's the competitor thing doesn't seem to be working. And if we all hit them, they might go and have a look at it. The other thing you could try when you experience issues like this online full stop is jump to a different browser. So you can see I'm using Firefox right now. I'm just going to see if I jump over to Google Chrome whether I have any different result. And similarly, you could try it on Internet Explorer as well. The only thing is it's not checking that competitor, which is what we're trying to get to. So I'll go back a step. Lizzie's saying here she had the same problem with her 2 competitor choices, which is interesting because definitely was working last time I looked. But, you know, we're in an online environment. They're pretty dynamic, these types of businesses. They do updates. They don't always work. They sometimes tell us and sometimes they don't. So I'm not sure. So if it doesn't work on Chrome, I definitely think there's a problem. And still seems to be going round and round for Brisbane kids. All right, we'll leave that going just a little bit more, give it a chance. It is pulling a lot of data. In the meantime, does anyone have any questions? We've got about 15 minutes, so feel free to raise your hands or drop me another text chat if you've got anything else you'd like to ask. I see Penny's got her hand up. Don't know if it's intentional or not. We'll go back to her. Penny, did you have another question? I don't know if we actually had a mic for Penny, did we? I forget as I go through who does and who doesn't have a suitable mic for this, and she said no, sorry. No problem. All right. This is not happening, is it? That is highly annoying because it was. Look, I'll drop a line to HubSpot. Love you guys too as well. I'm not sure exactly where we'll go. I presume into an About Us or Contact Us. Drop them a line and tell them that fantastic tool they had going on is no longer working, and we'd all like it to work so we can complete our Get Up to Speed program assessments in Australia. Thank you very much. Wouldn't hurt. All right, guys. Well, if we've covered it all off, hang on, there's another one. Page 54, will you integrate social media feeds and or icons to your website? Okay, let's go to that one. What that means is, will you do this kind of stuff? I'm presuming that's what your question is. Lucille's saying, can I answer yes or no to question 3, page 54, or do I need to explain? You could answer yes or no, and you could put probably a one-liner there as well to say, I plan to integrate the social media icons in the top right of my site, and I plan to integrate a Facebook feed, for instance. Just give a bit of a description of what it is you plan to do. So like on our site, I could say I plan to integrate Facebook, G+, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube icon at the top right of my site. And I plan to have a Facebook feed on my site also. So hopefully that clears that one up for you. Final check on this baby. No, it's not happening. So we all need to email HubSpot and get them sorted out. Well, thanks so much today for getting on. I hope you got lots out of it, not just for yourself, but from listening and learning from others. I just might try one more time to unmute Lynn. Lynn, are you with us on the mic right now? Can see you're logged on. Usually the sound comes through okay. It's not today though. Just wanted to give you the opportunity to say a few words if you wanted to. Lynn, of course, being from the Australasian Leadership Academy, who are affiliated with an RTO and are responsible for doing the assessments for this program. Doesn't seem we're able to get a mic from Lynn. Kiralee says, just on that, I was going to delete questions that weren't relevant and then write up as a report rather than questions. Is that okay? I'd probably rather you left it in the same format, Kiralee, and save yourself some work, to be honest. I'd say that'd be more time intensive than the other option. So I'd just be putting not applicable where that wasn't applicable rather than revamp it. Because as you can imagine, the assessor's looking at multiple versions, and if they start looking quite different, it'll be harder for her to assess them in a similar way. Lynn says, sorry, my mic doesn't seem to be working today, but I presume, Lynn, that you don't have any other comments, things you want to flag. I guess the other just big thing to note is that the D-Day is Friday the 15th of August. No, Wednesday the 15th of August, 1 week from today at 5 p.m. We will be accepting assessments for this round until, and we would really, really love it for you to put yours through. If you have any dramas, don't forget your help options. Put a question on the private Facebook group. I think Lucille's idea of a meetup is fantastic. Arrange a mentor session. Do whatever it will take you to get that thing in. We would love you for it forever. All right, guys, all the best for the rest of your working day, and I'm sure I'll see you online real soon. Don't put too much stress on yourselves, says Lynn, as you've said previously. Absolutely. Okay, guys, see ya.